Good afternoon, my name is Freddie St George and I am a member of BNI in West Sussex, and I've been a member since 2004 and I've always occupied the slot of printer. In 2005 we had a visitor day at our chapter, the Heart of Sussex, and along to that visitor day at our chapter came a young lady who produced a monthly community magazine called the Haywards Heath Handbook. I got there first. That's always been my secret weapon, is always get to the meeting first. I am properly super punctual. In fact, I always get places really early. But I got there early, as I always do, and I manned the desk and I provided the welcome for all the visitors that we had coming that day. Got chatting to Astrid, her name was, and she said that she printed her magazine in Birmingham. And I asked why. If your magazine is a local community magazine, why are you printing in Birmingham? And she explained that she belonged to a license organisation called MyMags, and there was hundreds of these magazines around the UK. So we ultimately managed to get her in and we started printing her magazine, which was brilliant news for us because that meant a turnover of £1,000 a month coming in every month as a result of BNI. So my partners at that point were like, wow, this is amazing. And it was the first kind of foray we'd had into networking and referral marketing as we did with BNI. Fast forward a little bit and I went up to Birmingham to see the licensor of MyMags, and I pitched to them an idea that we would upgrade their magazines from A5 to B5 at no cost, that would take them from mono throughout to colour, full colour throughout at no extra cost, and that we would also offer them an incentive, and it was a brilliant incentive at the time. Print 12 consecutive editions with us and we'll print your 13th for you for free. That was just the beginning of a tsunami of inquiries and then business, and ultimately we started producing, we ended up producing 70 of these magazines on a monthly basis. It was just incredible. Fast forward a little bit longer, a bit further into the future, and I went up to see the licensor, who was telling me that he had a new plan, a new idea for a business, and it was called Raring to Go, and it was a quarterly magazine aimed at families with primary school children, what to do and where to go. And would we be interested in printing these magazines? And of course, hands straight in the air, I said, absolutely. And that was the interesting thing, that business started, that was worth about £800,000 that first year of printing, because these magazines were bigger in terms of page count and volumes. They were between 10 and 15,000 copies per edition, and they sold 70 franchise areas in the first 6 months. It was just incredible. And I traced that journey all the way back to that visitor day back at Heart of Sussex when Astrid walked in through the door. And that for me is really why I'm still a member of BNI today, and I feel passionately about the success it's given me and the opportunity it's given me. So Raring to Go was born. We started printing. It was amazing. We started also gearing up and expanding our business to cope and cater for the Raring to Go business, because that was very demanding and it had very tight turnaround times, etc., that we had to accommodate because it was just worth such a lot of money to us. After about a year or so, probably 18 months in actual fact, the franchisor, the same company that was MyMags previously, asked me in a very open meeting if there was any interest on my part to buy the business. And I said, what, the whole thing, the whole lock, stock and barrel? He said, yeah, absolutely. He was not bored, but he had other ideas and other visions and other things that he wanted to get involved in. So of course, for us, it was just too big an opportunity to pass by. So we said yes. And we then very quickly transitioned from being a printer to a franchisor. The business cost us £250,000, and we did that in 2008. So just at that point where that last huge credit crunch and recession kicked in. But never mind, we weathered that storm really, really well. So now we're in a position where we have 50 Raring to Go editions operating successfully across the UK. These are, as I say, quarterly magazines. Now they're websites, so we have a multi-channel aspect to it. We had a very steep learning curve, and I took a step back from the sales development and business development role within printing to actually become the franchisor. I went through the British Franchise Association, did lots of training, ended up kind of really understanding what being a franchisor means and is all about. And that now is my ask to my brothers and sisters within the BNI network across the UK. We're looking for more franchisees. And I think that as this business really was born, or this business for us was born way back from a visitor day in a BNI chapter in the heart of Sussex, I'm reaching out to my fellow BNI members, fellow presidents, vice presidents, secretary treasurers, executive directors, director consultants, ambassadors, to see if there are people within your chapter who have those third-party connections, people that have enjoyed, bizarrely, some aspect of this lockdown and this idea of working from home. And if that maybe now appeals, because I, for one, have thoroughly enjoyed the whole lockdown period of working from home. I've been way more productive than I've ever been. Zoom has been a godsend. I'm traipsing all over the UK on a daily basis without ever leaving my home and having very productive, fruitful meetings and conversations. And now I'm looking to see if I can harness the power of BNI. And I genuinely mean that. I genuinely believe that the BNI has incredible power and incredible reach. Do you know people? It could be loved ones, it could be friends, it could be colleagues, it could be associates, people that you worked with in the past that have a sales background, that have enjoyed that freedom and flexibility of working from home and working remotely during this lockdown, that maybe now are looking at perhaps making that change. Never being home late for dinner, never missing a school play, never missing an open evening at school, enjoying 13 weeks of school holiday per annum for them to enjoy with their families. Saying goodbye to the commute. I mean, I used to do an awful lot of commuting up and down to London, and now hardly ever. And I think moving forward from this, I rarely will be doing the twice 3 weekly journey up from Brighton to London. Just doesn't need to happen. And there are many people out there that I think are also in that position and are looking. And hopefully they are the people that we want to be talking to. They're the people that are thinking, now's the time to make a change. We've got a brilliant business, genuinely a brilliant business. We've got an incredible startup package where we reinvest over £10,000 straight back into that first year of trading for the new franchisees coming on board. We have relationships with the main franchise banks where 70-30 funding for the acquisition of the business is available. And I'd ask if it's possible to just take a quick peek at our website. It's called getraringtogo.co.uk. That's GETRARING 2.co.uk. Everything about our business is explained up there, and I'm really reaching out to the BNI community at large and asking for some help. If you know people, those third-party referrals, the ones that we know are the best ones, people that are looking to make that change, or perhaps are hitting a wall where they are, hitting a salary income ceiling where they are, or can't see any real progression within the role that they're doing, or just want to take that step back and work 24, 30 hours a week remotely for themselves, from home, within a really engaged franchise network across the country, please just reach out and drop me a line. I'd love to hear from you, and I'd love to see if we can't help more people take that first step into that journey of self-employment via our franchise, Raring to Go. Many thanks for listening. All the best, and I'll wait to hear from you. Thank you. Bye.